Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. And this will go as a touchback, and they will begin things at the 25. The Bengals offense here ready to rock and roll. Joe Burrow is the man at quarterback.
And when you come into the league as the #1 guy selected, a lot of hype comes with it. And sometimes that weight can be unbearable. But this young man, he took that weight on and handled it as well as you can imagine. And I love his ability to make a second, third reaction play and create downfield.
And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Just like that, it's a gain of 12 and a first down on their first play. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the #3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
They will throw on first down with Burrow. And it's hauled in by Austin Hooper. And he's got room. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31.
And CD, we have seen some great runs the last few times we've been together, but I think we can at least put this one in our top 5. That was a determined gallop there.
And that, in a nutshell, shows you what this guy's made of. I mean, most guys in the NFL just can't do that. He absorbed the contact, refocused himself, and made a break for the end zone.
Throwing now, Burrow on first down. He completes it to Boyd.
And he's going to be brought down at about the 16. Well, only 3 plays in here, but really, Charles, a solid start for this offense. And now we'll see if they can continue their mission to end this drive in 6.
And I wonder if their play caller right now is reflecting on that last big play that they've had on this drive. Do you come back with something similar?
And this is going to be intercepted.
Picked off by Greg Newsom.
And the Browns are going to get the football here as they force the INT on the game's opening drive. Remember, Charles, this is the #1 defense in the NFL, and they proved their mettle here, forcing the turnover on the opening possession.
And sometimes when you play a team that has that reputation, that's earned it by their play, the psychology is, okay, they're #1. They have to prove it to us, and they tried to attack. They found out that run.
He's got him in, complete.
And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line.
Hard to believe that arm strength was a knock on Deshaun Watson coming out of Clemson, but he showed what he's got there. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone.
Watson's throw pulled in by Schwartz. And they're going to get this down inside the 15. They'll come up now on 2nd and a yard.
First carry for Nick Chubb. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. This thrown quickly out to Cooper. And he's able to get this down to the 5-yard line before he's out of bounds. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. From the 5, 2nd and 4. They pitch it to Chubb. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. A nickel look now for the Bengals as they try to stop him here on 3rd down. They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And he's in. Touchdown. Nick Chubb, his 13th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Browns take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown. Extra point by York is up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. Cincinnati coming back onto the field here for their 2nd drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others, where they think they have an advantage. dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
Meanwhile, Burrow's throw caught by Higgins. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. First time they've hooked up here. Good for 17 and a first down. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. And finding the tight end Hooper. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
And that's how you shake off the interception he threw on the opening drive, come back and throw another strike and gain nice yardage. And I give credit to two people on this one. The man throwing the ball and the person calling the plays. They're not shutting him down early in this game.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Well, it looked like a march to the end zone. He's had a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Now Burrow. That's caught over the middle. Hooper. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line. This defense, Charles, really played well in that win a week ago.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defense coordinator about their performance last week because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
And he is going to have a Bengals first down as they convert on 3rd and 3 with a nice gain of 7 yards. From the red zone now, here's Burrow first down. He's got Hooper on the out route. And the Bengals are going to have a 1st and goal as the tackle is made at about the 5.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Flush to his, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. This will go as an 11-yard loss there on 1st and goal. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Start of the 2nd quarter, and it's the Bengals in control of the football. As they come up now, 2nd and goal. Burrow going to give this to Mixon. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. They do get 6, but they've still got some work to do on 3rd and goal. Now it's Burrow. They'll set up the screen here to Mixon. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. So that'll go as a 4-yard loss on the play. And it'll be 4th down. McPherson's kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
The offense back out again, and there's the burner, Anthony Schwartz. He's doing what he's capable of, having a solid game. Not the most amazing game. He's not over 100 yards, but a good game so far.
And you just know that mentally, he feels like he's one catch away from turning it into a great game and starting on that road. And the defenders are well aware of that, too. They've got to figure out a way to not let that escalate. Keep him right in this zone here and call it a day, because otherwise, he can really decimate him.
Better believe they are well aware of his playmaking ability. They run it again with Chubb. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. 2 straight runs of 5 yards, 1st and 10. The Browns in a perfect 5-0 here to begin the campaign. And they come in with fresh legs. They got the extra time off thanks to an early season open week.
And usually your hope is that your open week comes a little bit later.
And this is taken in at the 5. And he will step out of bounds all the way down at the 5-yard line. A big play that time for Cleveland. And even 60 yards. They'll run with Chubb. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Well, I know defensive coordinator is going to be pretty excited about what he just saw there. Great knockback by their front. And now with the ball where it is.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Nick Chubb, touchdown number 15 of the year and second of the game. As his guys are able to extend their lead. So his strong first half continues as he finds the end zone here for the second time.
And definitely good blocking at the point of attack. And you just have to love watching the way he can create space down near the goal line. And he's able to take it into the end zone.
Extra point by York is up and good. And that pushes the lead up to 11. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And they are back down to 500 following the loss last week. Consistency has been a real issue for them so far.
Brandon, you almost don't know what team is going to show up every week. I mean, there's no consistency with this ball club at all, and if we feel that way, I know it frustrates the coaching staff, and it also has to frustrate the key leaders in the locker room. They got to figure out how to get coordinated.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Here's Burrow. Trying to get it to Chase, but it's intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And the Browns are going to take possession of the football. You don't see this often. A quarterback of his caliber, 2 first-half interceptions.
It's absolutely surprising because it happens so rarely. You're searching for what reason, what's going on out there. It's not just maybe the defense is playing well.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. His 3rd rushing touchdown of the year, number 6 overall. And the Browns are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Fans of old school football, they got to be loving this part. And all 3 drives so far have ended in a touchdown, and all 3 on the ground.
And when you say fans of old school football, count me in, because you just don't see ground games dominate the scoring or pounding the rock like this anymore. To me, this is refreshing.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. Ready to go on offense, out come the Bengals. And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3-point CD.
Well, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Again, it's Mixon. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45.
That was a good forceful run, and it demonstrates why you've got to put your body on a runner when you're trying to tackle him. If you just go in there and just try to get him down with arm tackles, usually doesn't work very well, and we saw on that play, he'll run right through those attempted plays.
Hang on now. We're going to pause here. We've got an injured player. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. From midfield now, Burrow. And this one hauled in. Again, it's Hooper. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Another connection between the two. This one good for 12 and a first down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Burrow looking to pass. Dumps it off to Mixon. Breaks the tackle. He's got room to run. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. So they elect to decline it.
And why not? Just go ahead and let the play stand, and they'll take that.
Go.
first down. Here's Burrow. Over the middle, complete. That's Boyd. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and it'll be second down.
That's now 4 completions in a row. A good bounce back following the interception last drive.
Certainly not letting it affect him, that's for sure. And we all know interceptions are going to happen. So the big trick, don't let it affect you going forward. Most of the good quarterbacks, they just tell the ball boy.
And it'll be intercepted.
And the Browns are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20.
And when a team advances as far as they did, got over the 50-yard line, don't you think that drive deserved a better ending? I think he needs to get with his coaches on the sidelines, make some immediate adjustments, and that's what you do. You don't wait. You do it from series to series.
And that's caught inside the 35. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. A big play that time for Cleveland. And even 70 yards. We know he's good at catching the football, but then after the catch, he's got escapability.
Not only that, he's got some toughness as well, because you know he's coached very hard to make sure he battles through, breaks tackles, and then they finish with, but don't fumble the football.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Up the middle, it's Chubb. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. On 3rd down, it's Nick Chubb. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Nick Chubb, as the first half is winding down.
And the Browns are able to add on to their first half lead. Extra point by York is up and good.
And a rout is on here in this first half.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Final 17 seconds of the half here as they come up to the line, 1st and 10.
Well, they're just going to run it here up the middle. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run.
So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. A lot to get to here as some of the division races starting to take shape as we look around the NFL here in week number 7. Let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Time now for a check of the next-gen stats for the Bengals in that first half. And they've had plenty of success throwing the football so far this afternoon, as they're on pace to throw for over 300 yards if their form holds. Meanwhile, for the Browns, we check out their numbers on the ground as they'll try to keep the momentum going into the second half. Final adjustments being made for the second half. Whether they'll amount to much in a game that's already pretty well decided, well, that's another question. Nevertheless, let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach, thanks. Yeah, that's something to consider. Are we in for more one-way traffic here in the second half? It has not been a competitive game to this point.
The Browns are going to get the second half kickoff, and they've got this lead as well as we are back and underway.
Now Jamal Agnew from his end zone.
And he's going to be out of bounds on the return way back at the 11.
The offense back out again, and there's the burner, Anthony Schwartz.
And I think we both agreed he could have a really good game with this matchup, but over 200 yards now.
I don't think we saw it as that good, and I think what really makes it special is when games like this are occurring, it's not just getting locked in and in the zone and on a roll. It's continuing to adjust throughout the game because you know the defense is kicking.
He's got a man, complete. And all the way in, touchdown, Cleveland.
Okay, we need to double check here with Marvin because he keeps all of our good stats, but what I've got is 5 drives, 5 touchdowns, and they've got a nice, healthy lead.
Well, after the first drive, we thought things might be clicking. They're really clicking at this point. They're clicking about as much as they can click.
And right
I just said click a lot.
Yes, you did, but that's okay because the guy who's coordinating the defense, trying to slow them down, he's going to have hair that looks like mine very soon. Not much of it.
Extra point by York is up and good. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half. CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. On third down, Burrow throwing the out route, finding Boyd for the completion. And he is going to have a Bengals first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Well, still in the third quarter here. Now, you look at the scoreboard, that deficit probably a little too much to overcome, but completions like that may be something to build on for future weeks. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Grant Delpit. And he takes this one back into the end zone. The Browns defense has a touchdown. And Charles, for this offense, those interception rules they kind of had in the first half have now followed them into the second half. And for this defense, they take advantage, turn that into a pick 6.
And that defense is in a spot now where they're thinking about ways to close this game out. As confidently as they've been playing, I expect them to do exactly that.
Extra point by York is up and good. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
Now Burrow on first down. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
This one they're letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already, and it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
And he'll get this up past the 45 of the 47. 46 yards on the ground for him so far. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. Nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. On is Kern, the punter, to send this one away. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. With the football going back over now to the Cleveland Browns. Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
And he'll get this one to Cooper, complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. It's a gain of 35. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. 15 more yards there, and quickly another 1st down. To throw is Watson. And his throw is going to be incomplete. So, Charles, you look at this offense, what a start to the season. 5 wins without a loss. When do you think that you start believing that maybe you're in the midst of something special?
Well, you and I both know every head coach never wants that thought to creep into a locker room. But the truth of the matter is, not quite at this time, because if we look at the Steelers in 2020, they're a great example. Remember, they started 11-0. Then lost 5 of 6 and went out in the 1st round. But I think if you get toward mid-November, the Thanksgiving time frame, and you're still doing this, that's when things start to get real for a ball club.
They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business in the line of scrimmage.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown. Nick Chubb, a 6-yard touchdown run. And the Browns get another 3rd-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. And that rushing touchdown is 4th, puts him just one shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it. But he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. And for the Browns, a nickel set here on 3rd down. Inside handoff to Mixon. And he'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. 1-yard pickup leads to 4th down. Here's Brett Kern now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Agnew now to return. 51 yards on the punt there. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. The Cleveland offense ready to go. Well, this offense, this team, they are rolling right now, Charles. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. You look at the scoreboard, and they pretty much right now got this thing on cruise control.
Yeah, and this is that time of game where you and I have to be prepared, right? Isn't this kind of like that empty the bucket time where you have to go do that?
Back now here on EA Sports. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. The offense on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is 3rd down and 12. Watson now to throw. Over the middle, it's complete. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. First target, first catch at a 1st down.
play fake, and it's Watson. He sets to fire deep. He's got a man complete. And they're going to get this down inside the 15.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
A give running right is Chubb. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. They're going to hurry back to the line now. Chubb looking for a signal, but none forthcoming. They stopped him shy of the goal line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. The lone man in the backfield here is Chubb on 2nd and goal. He'll get it up the middle. And he takes this one in for a Brown score. Nick Chubb taking it in from a yard out. And the Browns add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. Well, when coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad is on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed watching their execution throughout this contest.
And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. Now this Bengals offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
And now here is another interception. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And the Browns are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line. Another great play defensively. They've been sharp on both sides of the ball, Charles, but that interception means that this defense very well keep them down to single digits on the scoreboard in this game.
And that's certainly something to smile about, isn't it, partner, if you're on defense? Because your goal every game is to pitch a shutout, but you and I both know that's pretty unrealistic. But to hold a team below double figures in a game, in an NFL game, that's certainly something to take pride in.
On 2nd and 10, Watson. He's going to take another shot here. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Up huge on the scoreboard, and they're still trying to add to their total. That shot doesn't connect, but I don't think it'll dissuade them from attempting another one.
The Browns on 3rd down. A perfect 4 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Now Watson. He's going to let it go again. This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, Browns. Anthony Schwartz, 65 yards. And the Browns continue to pull on here in the 4th. CD, it'll go into the books as just one win, but this is a really impressive win. They've done it on defense, and here they continue to do it on offense. Another score in the 4th quarter to widen that advantage.
I like where you were going with that one. Would you say, partner, it was really 3 victories today? Landslide on the scoreboard, emphatic victory on either side of the ball. They've really got it done.
Extra point by York is up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they're going to try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards. They're passing here. Joe Burrow. It connects quickly to Jamar Chase. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line. So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 47. Now it's Burrow. It's caught by Hooper. He'll get it inside the 20. A big play there for Cincinnati. 42 yards. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the 4th, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. Burrow throw. And down he goes. Pressure pressure gets him back at the 14. Miles Garrett, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
We all know he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league, but definitely not today. His team trailed by multiple touchdowns and a late sack. Just a parting gift from the defense for him to take back to the locker room with him.
To the sideline, and that is a heck of a catch as he was able to get both feet in. McPherson's kick is good, and they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable, and that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. Now this offense comes back out onto the field. Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard. But they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate. But we'll see what they decide to do as they come out in this one. But the way this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
And Watson's going to throw it here. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And that is incomplete. But Charles, they're still airing it out at this point despite that huge lead. And some people may be saying, well, why are they throwing the football? These guys, I guess, are just padding their stats at this point.
Yeah, there are a lot of big grins, I think, from people in their families, from themselves. You're exactly right. Pad the stats when you get an opportunity. And certainly help you come contract time.
126 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. From their own 40 to the other 40. The gain of 20 leads to 1st and 10. Back to throw, Watson. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Well, let's face it, not a lot left for them to prove in this game, but they're still throwing the football. I guess, of course, CD, you can always get the backups some work. There's new plays to try out. But some people, let's face it, they just want to run the score up. It's fun.
I love the way that you expressed that because you gave plenty of reasons why people like to do things. But ultimately, they just like to keep their foot on the gas, and they just want to tromp on teams. And what I like to see is, if you like to do that, how do you handle it when it comes back against you? On those days where someone can run it up on you, do you handle it the way that you expect your opponent to? If so, keep doing your thing.
They will indeed snap it to Watson. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, business as usual for them. Well on the way to another victory. Riding a serious wave of momentum from what we've seen. And so far, they haven't met their match. So if you're going to play this team in the future, your mission is clear. You better be ready to play and match their firepower.
The kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. Here we go. The Bengals drive about to get going. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over, you're going to go to the film, find out where the game was really last. But this is not a situation now where you're going to make up for anything.
We'll see what they do here. And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance. And by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
Certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time. You go to each other in practice, obviously your training camps, your off-season. But on game day, you both want to show your best. And I think that's what we saw from both the offense and the defense, a complete team victory.
So for Cleveland, they remain as hot as anyone, 6-0 now through the first month and a half. And they'll get to stay put for a few days as they'll host the Buffalo Bills next week. Meanwhile, for Cincinnati, they fall a game under the 500 mark at 3-4 through 7 games. And they'll be at home next week for a date with the Arizona Cardinals.
My day ones here to dance at the beginning. So you know it's only right, that's how we end it. Came all the way from losing to winning. Yeah, I did it. But it ain't just me, it's the whole team. Share it with the whole team. Congratulate the whole team. Know when you riding like we riding with each other. Ain't no I in this. It's the whole team. Share it with the whole team. Congratulate the whole team. Cause when you riding like we riding with each other. Ain't no I in this. Tell them line it up. Like a 4th and 1, we sneaky when we slide them. Y'all on offense with no defense, now y'all time is up. We make the hits, y'all take the hits, and now we fired up. 3, 2, 1, don't need no break. Hut 1, hut 2, give it straight, that's how I like it. And we grind it every night to make it hit, now it's exciting. See, they just getting cake, they ain't never gonna get no ice. And all we want is chips, ring fingers looking ice. My day ones here to dance at the beginning. So you know it's only right, that's how we end it. Came all the way from losing to winning. Yeah, I did it. But it ain't just me, it's the whole team. Share it with the whole team.